Hey there, this is Josh Hinds. Just got a quick little message. I'm going to talk a little bit on what I call mini vision boards. Now, obviously, most people have probably heard of vision boards. Essentially, when you think of it, and if you haven't, I'm going to just touch on them a little bit. Basically, the idea with a vision board is you have the goals and the things that you want to aspire to, the goals that you want to accomplish, and you just have pictures of them. And so you have all these visual representations, and typically they'll go on a board or a poster board, if you will, and that can be big, right? It can be large, which is not a problem. It's just one of the things that I really believe in is the idea that you got to be careful with the goals and things that you set for yourself. You want to be careful so that they don't become what we call shelf help. And that's exactly what it sounds like. It's the idea that you have all these great intentions, but you kind of set them to the side, maybe on a shelf, if you will, as in shelf help. And the next thing you know, you forget them. And of course, we all know that life runs 90 to nothing. It just runs 100 miles an hour and everything's pulling in one direction. And that's just life. But guess what? If you want to accomplish different things, if you want to see certain things show up in your life, you're going to have to make a decision in spite of, and here I'm talking to myself, I'm not saying I'm perfect in this area, believe me, okay? Not at all. But we have to make a decision to give the attention to the things that we want to accomplish. So no matter how warranted this thing that's pulling us in that direction is, it may be very extremely important. It's not, we're going to have to make a decision to give time to those other things, those goals that we've set for ourselves. The job promotion, maybe it's more time with a family or loved one. It could be any number of things. Maybe it's that business you've been putting off, or maybe it's that idea or that thought of writing a book, or no matter what it could be in the whole wide world, you've got to be intentional about it. You've got to make a point to give time to it, okay? So that's, again, where the vision board can come in handy, because the basic idea is you have all these things that are important to you, and you have them on this poster board, if you will, and it reminds you in your mind, hey, I need to get back to that. And plus, it gives you a little bit, the added benefit of putting some vision behind what it is that you want to see show up in your life. So it's not just sort of in your mind in this kind of way up here, 10,000 foot view space place. It's literally something you can see. And that triggers in your mind, hey, I want to put forth the effort to go with it. Now, not that there's a problem with vision boards, okay? But like I talked about a little bit before, they're not as portable. So here's a simple, really simple idea. Anybody that knows me, that people kind of joke when I come in to speak to groups or speak to different meetings and things. I'm kind of the guy I'm the simple guy. I'm kind of the guy that they bring in when absolutely everybody in the organization when it's got to be put on so far down on the bottom shelf that nobody misses it. Okay, so here's some really simple ideas that'll work, and there's just going to be no excuse not to use them. Okay, and so the first thing I kind of call them mini vision boards, and basically, I love my 3x5 index cards. Well, guess what? You can take a 3x5 index card. I don't know if you can read this or not, but it says vision board, and it says my vision board, and it's a little mini vision board. It's 3x5 index card. Got it written right there. And on the other side, I've got a couple of different things that I want to see show up in my life. If you saw the picture, the car particularly don't really, to be honest with you, in transparency, I don't really care about that car showing up unless somebody out there wants to buy one and put it in my driveway. I'll drive it, and I'll be very thankful for that. But aside from that, the other two things you may have noticed, one of them is a picture of a football coach. You probably may know who he is. His name's Coach Saban. And the reason he's on that card is actually because one of the things I want to do, and I speak to different companies and groups, I know that the University of Alabama is real big on personal development. And so I'd like to, at some point, have it work out in my life where they become a client, in that I maybe I get to work with the program, whether it be sharing goals or what have you. Again, so that's something that I want to see show up, and I'm going to work towards that. The other thing is, it says 500,000 copies of Live Big sold, and that's exactly what it is. My book, Live Big. I have that as a reminder, and again, it's on this size card because it can travel with me really easy. I can set it in my truck and see it whenever I want to. I can set it on the different places around the house by the computer, because I work from home a lot, unless I'm traveling, and so there's just no more excuses. It really is that simple. The other one is another little creative thing. You may recognize this as basically just a thank you card. That's a whole nother lesson, but and I took a little card and I wrote my vision card. I don't have the best handwriting, but that's the point I want to make, is it doesn't have to be this elaborate project. It's the idea behind it that works. And and then you've got to fold out. And I took a picture. This is just kind of visual representation. I like the house I live in personally, so I'm not looking to move, but this is more for you all. And again, you got a picture of this nice house. It's a vision card, and I can keep that thing wherever I want. I can fold it, take it with me. Again, two really simple ideas. And this is not to say that these are better than traditional vision boards, not at all. It's just something else that you can do. And the point I want to make across is there's just no excuse. You don't want to give yourself the excuse not to keep the things that you want to accomplish front and center. There's a lot of truth in that simple saying, that which you give your attention to tends to get done more often than not. So I'm not going to say that just because you take a picture or you write it down and you stick it on this card that you're going to absolutely guarantee to see it. But I'm not going to tell you that you're not either. But I'll tell you this. The fact that you'll have it nearby, front and center, and that it will have a better chance of giving your attention to it, is going to make it far more likely that you're going to see it, or possibly something better. That's certainly been the case in my life, where maybe I put something on my vision card or wrote it out on my goal cards, and maybe it didn't show up exactly like I thought it was going to, but it turned out better because I was growing into it. So again, simple idea. I want to leave you with this thought. Ideas, it's sad but true, ideas are a dime a dozen. What's going to make a real difference is your ability to execute on the ideas that come to your mind. It is the big difference maker. We talked a little bit about it in some of the other videos and stuff that I've done, and you want to be a person of action. These are a couple ideas that you can use to keep yourself on track. Hope that you find them helpful, and if you like the ideas in the video, do share this with somebody. They might appreciate it. Thank you for it. And remember, it's your life. Live big.